Guys, this is option 2 for completing the square. So our first step is still the same. We're going to subtract over our c or add over our c to get it to the other side. That's going to leave us with 4x squared minus 8x equals negative 15. Again, in front of our x squared has to be a 1, so in this case it's a 4. So option 1 was factoring out the 4. Option 2 is dividing each term by your a value, which is in this case 4. We'd have x squared minus 2x. We can put in our boxes so we can make our perfect square trinomial. And we have negative 15 over 4 doesn't reduce. Even if it did reduce, since that 4 is a perfect square, you may want to leave it. And then we're going to add in another box. To figure out what goes in our box, we're going to take our b over 2 and we're going to square it. So we end up with negative 1 squared, which is 1. So that goes in both of our boxes. We have our perfect square trinomial, which factors into x minus 1 squared. We add these two together. You could do a common denominator. So negative 15 plus 4 is negative 11 over 4. And now it's just a solve by square root property. So we would square root both sides. Make sure you account for the plus and minus. So you have x minus 1 plus minus negative 11. Square root of 4 we can just replace with a 2. And then we would add over our 1. So x equals 1 plus minus the square root of negative 11 over 2. We cannot have a negative number in our square root, so we can break it into negative 1 and 11. Square root of negative 1 is I. 11 does not simplify, so we end up with our answer of 1 plus or minus the I square root of 11 all over 2. So same answer, different ways to get there.